T&I, Brian Lee.
T&I. Oh, right.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Good guys. Good. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Let me check.
All right, don't worry, buddy.
Yeah, I'm getting it for a week here. I got you in there, Charles. All right.
Yeah, you're there.
Louis just unbelievable.
You missed it.
Yeah, their TPD is under, that's why we can't even allow press, just for,
Does Frey go out there? Shirley Suling, clerk, y'all ready?
How long did we have?
Well, let me go check.
Yeah, but I think it's still needed. Tom, do you want me to check it downstairs?
Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Should be beginning in 2 minutes. Okay, I was just informed the clerk is ready. Let's go ahead and begin. Okay. This is a special call meeting for City Council on April 16th, 2020, beginning at 9:30, more or less. We begin first with our invocation and our moment of silence, as we don't have anyone here to say the prayer today. If everybody could please stand for a moment of silence, and after that, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Yes, Chair. Citro.
Here.
Carlson. Dingfelder.
They're here.
Dingfelder. He's on the line. Goods. Maniscalco.
Here.
Miranda.
Here.
Vieira.
Here. And I wanted to thank all 7 of our Tampa City Council members today for your hard work throughout the last few weeks, including working through the different accommodations that we have and running our meetings. All 7 of our members have put forth great effort, and I appreciate your cooperation and constant professionalism. Okay, first is a welcome thank you to the administration and city staff for organizing this unprecedented meeting. We are here in a capacity to address 2 pressing items which require council's urgent attention. The purpose of this emergency special call meeting is to take official action on the matters described on the emergency special call agenda, which are matters that cannot be delayed beyond April 16, 2020, and legally require action of this City Council. Public comment. We begin with clerk. I know that there have been public comments which have been received, and we have received as Tampa City Council members. Clerk, are we able to read or to hear the public comments that were sent to us via telephone?
Chair, at this point, we are not able to play those via conference. We're gonna have to play those next week at the CRA meetings,
Okay.
especially being that it pertains to that particular meeting.
Okay.
But
Miss-
we have no public comments pertaining to any items that's on the agenda for today.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilman Citro, is that okay to have them heard at the CRA next week, sir? Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, yes, that would be fine.
Thank you, sir. And I just got a text from our, I'm sorry.
Chairman, I move to
Yes, sir.
open the public hearings, items 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Okay, okay, motion to open public hearings. We have a motion by Councilman Miranda, seconded by Councilman Citro. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And I know our Councilman Dingfelder is here as well. Just got a message from our friend Councilman John Dingfelder. Okay, item number 1 will be UT bonds. Who is here to present them? Who is here to present these? Anyone? Maybe having
This is Lee
technological.
Huffstepler, the Chief Accountant from the Revenue and Finance Department.
And I'm sorry, sir, could you state your name again?
Lee Huffstepler, Chief Accountant.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Do you have any presentation at all?
I do not.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And Councilman, and before that, is there anyone online who wishes to speak to this item? There being none. Clerk, are there any members to comment with any additional items at this time here?
Not that I know of. We do have 2 representatives that's on the line for UT. I'm not sure if they would like to comment or not.
Okay, UT representatives, would y'all like to say anything?
This is Kevin Lafferty from the University of Tampa. I just wanted to thank the city for setting this meeting up to get this done.
Thank you, sir. Stay safe. Okay, Councilman Miranda, you.
Move to close?
Yes, sir. Second. We have a motion by Councilman Miranda, seconded by Councilman Maniscalco. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that hearing has been closed. And to our city attorney, anything else needed to be done on item number 1, correct? Nothing.
May I read it?
Okay, there you go. Okay, next we go to,
We have to read the ordinance.
okay, so Councilman Miranda, go ahead and read
Yeah,
it,
we
sir.
have to read this ordinance, item number 1, B 2020-72. Mr. Chairman, member of Tampa City Council, I move an ordinance presented for second reading and adoption, an ordinance of the City of Tampa providing authority for the issuance of bond for assistance to the University of Tampa, Incorporated, as an institution of higher education within the city, providing findings, providing definitions, providing. I'm sorry. Providing for the general powers of the city council, providing.
Unmute me. I can't cut in when I need to cut in.
I'm sorry, somebody speaking, interrupting Councilman Miranda is,
Okay.
hello?
I'm sorry.
Is that Mr. Shelby?
Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can. Did
Oh, I'm
you?
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know I wasn't, because you asked for comment to the attorney. Unmute me. I can't cut in when I need to cut in.
I'm sorry, somebody speaking.
Who's speaking right now?
Hello?
I'm sorry.
Is that
Okay.
Mr. Shelby?
If you are not speaking, if you could please mute your telephone so that Councilman Miranda can finish reading. Thank you very much. Councilman Miranda, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For a clearer record, I'd like to start again if I may.
Yes, sir.
I move file number 1, file number B 2020-72, ordinance being presented for second reading and adoption. An ordinance of the City of Tampa providing authority for assistance of bonds for assistance to the University of Tampa, Incorporated, as an institution of higher education within the city, providing findings, providing definitions, providing for general powers of the city council, providing criteria and requirements for assistance to be rendered to such institution, providing for terms of such assistance, providing that neither the credit nor any revenues of property of the city shall be pledged, providing for assistance of revenue bonds, providing for security of bondholders for payments of such bonds, providing for issuance of refunding bonds, providing for provisions of the ordinance shall be in addition to the authorizing means, providing for the manner of construction of this ordinance, repeating all ordinances in conflict herein, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
Second. Okay, and before, I just got word that a city attorney needed to make a presentation on this. Please come on in. Hi, you need to make a presentation? Come on in. Ms. Grimes?
Yes, good morning, Justin.
Chairman, we have to open the hearing again.
Okay, we're gonna, motion by Councilman Miranda, seconded by Councilman Escalco. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir, go ahead.
Okay.
Before you start, Gina Grimes, City Attorney, I just wanted to mention that apparently some of the participants are having a hard time coming through on the phone line, so that may be why this sounds somewhat unorganized, and when you call for someone to speak, that you can't, they're not answering.
Okay.
So we're down here in person to give you this part of the presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Grimes. Go ahead, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, before City Council is an ordinance, second reading of an ordinance, and the primary purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the city's home rule powers through this home rule ordinance related to the issuance of revenue bonds for the benefit of the University of Tampa as an institution for higher education. Although Chapter 159 Florida statutes provides authority for financing a portion of the university's projects, this home rule ordinance broadens the authority for financing additional types of educational facilities for the university. So these Series 2020 bonds are being issued to provide proceeds to be used by the university for the finance or refinance the acquisition, construction of educational facilities, including a fine arts building, a technology building, an expansion of a fitness center, and a parking facility. Also, the proceeds will be used to refund the outstanding higher education facilities financing authority revenue and revenue refunding bonds and pay certain bond issuance costs. Now, also after this ordinance, there's going to be a resolution that approves all the related documents and actions required by all parties to complete this conduit bond financing. Now, this resolution approves the issuance of the bonds in an amount not to exceed $147,500,000 to allow for the construction of those education facilities and the refunding of the aforementioned bonds. It also authorizes the execution and delivery of a purchase contract, an indenture of trust, and a loan agreement. The resolution also authorizes the execution and delivery of the Series 2020 bonds and all of the other related instruments, including without limitation a tax certificate. It approves the issuance of the Series 2020 bonds for the purposes of and pursuant to Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, authorizes the deposit of it to an escrow account, makes certain other covenants and agreements in connection with the issuance of said bonds, authorizes a negotiated sale of the Series 2020 bonds, provides certain terms and details of said series bonds, and provides for the manner for establishing the interest rate and establishing the maturity of the bonds, and ratifies the use of the preliminary official statement and final official statement with respect to the bonds. Now, it is important to note that the Series 2020 bonds and the interest thereon shall not constitute an indebtedness or pledge of the general credit or taxing power of the city or any political subdivision or agency. In other words, the city will not be financially responsible in any manner for the payment of these bonds. The Series 2020 bonds will be payable solely from the revenues pledged by the University of Tampa. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from council?
Mr. Chair, if I may ask, Mr. Chairman, I read this before that information was on the record. I'd like to have a clear record. Is it permissible to what we did, or do I have to read it again? I wanted to be clear.
Are you asking whether or not you need to read the title of the ordinance again?
Yes, ma'am. Read the whole ordinance again, because that information was put in after we read it.
Okay, go ahead and read it one more time.
Okay, I appreciate it very much. I just want to
Do you, do you wish to do it again, sir, or have someone else?
It makes no difference to me, Mr. Chairman.
You may if you'd like.
All right,
You have a
sir.
wonderful voice.
File number 1B 2020-72, orders being presented for second reading and adoption. An ordinance of the City of Tampa providing authority for assistance of bond for assistance to the University of Tampa, incorporated as an institution of higher education within the city, providing findings, providing definitions, providing for the general powers of the City Council, providing criteria and requirements for assistance to be rendered to such institution, providing for terms of such assistance, providing that neither the credit nor any revenues of the property of the city shall be pledged, providing for assistance of revenue bonds, providing for security of bondholders for payment of such bonds, providing for the issuance of refunding bonds, providing for the provisions of this ordinance shall be in addition to other authorizing means, providing for the manner of construction of this ordinance, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
Second. Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Miranda, seconded by Councilman Citro. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move the resolution, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Okay, resolution moved by Councilman Miranda, seconded by Councilman Escalco. And to audio, our council members who were not able to appear live as for the public, we had I guess, if you will, a hat selection, if you will, for council members who were here. So for the ones who were not chosen to attend, because everybody wanted to be here, they can't be heard online. I'm being told right now, like that whenever they speak, they can't be heard. So just for audio visual, to please address that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now item number 2. Who is the staff member here to present? Thank you so much.
Gina Groton, City Attorney. We had made arrangements for this item to be introduced and discussed by Vanessa McCleary, who's over the CDBG program. I don't know if she's on the line. Vanessa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay. So every year we present the annual action plan, and to start the process, we open with a public hearing that allows the public to provide us feedback on what they think the priorities ought to be for spending the federal dollars. We receive community development block grant dollars, home funds, housing emergency solutions grant funds, and housing opportunities for people with AIDS. This year we have received notification from HUD that we will receive $3.2 million in CDBG, 1.7 in home funds, 4.1 in HOPWA, 279,000 for ESG, and 4.5 million in CHIP funds, for a total of $13,911,299. So what we're letting the public know is that they can send an email to me at vanessa.mccleary@tampagov.net, or they can go onto our website, tampagov.net/HCD, and they can complete a survey or submit their comments that way. This opens up the public comment period. We will actually take public comments through May. HUD did do a waiver and said that we only needed to do it for 5 days, but we will continue to take through May. And then we will address any of those comments as we put together the action plan. Earlier this month, we opened up and we started accepting applications from nonprofit agencies that are interested in providing services to the community. Anybody who is interested and wants to apply, that information is on our website. There is a video that talks about how you do the application process, along with a link for them to do an online application. And that is at tampagov.net/H as in Harry, C as in Charlie, D as in David.
Thank you. Anything else, ma'am? Okay, being none, and by the way, I was reminded, I'm used to our clerk announcing the vote. The prior vote passed 4-0. Four known yeses. The other council members are unable to opine because of apparent technological difficulties. So that was a unanimous vote, just for purposes of the public. Okay, so Ms. Grimes, do we do just move to transmit this?
I believe the next.
Open the public comment period.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, Ms. Clerk, Madam Clerk, is there anybody here from the public here to comment?
No, we do not have anyone from the public.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Move to close.
Motion to close by Councilman Escalco, seconded by Councilman Citro. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And move to transmit.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Escalco, seconded by Councilman Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0. Okay. Now we will convene City Council at this time. And Councilman Miranda, do you want to say
Move to
something?
receive and file all the documents that were submitted today, either verbally or in any form of news, or whether it's through technology or written or in person.
Thank you very much for that reminder, sir. We have a motion by Councilman Miranda, seconded by Councilman Scalco. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And we will be meeting at 11:30 for a telephonic City Council briefing on the COVID-19 update. And again, just to further educate the public on these two items. One was a University of Tampa series of bonds that were due by a time certain that we had to meet life with. And the second one was a significant amount of funds for housing and urban development HUD block grants, which the city potentially could not receive if we did not vote on it today in person. So just for purposes of further public education on it. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. God bless everybody, and everybody stay safe. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.